guys, it's been a while since I, made a video. But this time, I got my boys, Palidan, say hello.
Hello.
And we got Saint, say hello.
Hello.
And today, we're gonna go over the tier changes that have occurred from Hive Season 4 to Hive Season 5. Now, if I'm being honest, there are a lot of little ones from like Tier 5A to 5B that we'll mention, but who cares? So we'll put those in the
And a lot
description.
of poor decisions.
Yeah, that's what this video is for.
I'm gonna give a shout out to Jake right now.
Yes, we're gonna go over the big ones in this video, and also a lot of the normal ones, or like the medium ones, so to speak. But let's you guys got anything to say?
No, we can just get right into it.
Yeah, let's go right into it. All right, let's go over the new additions. Right, let's start off with Tapu Lele.
Gotta make sure it's telepathy.
Yeah, with telepathy. That's a important clarification. Now, there was some controversy about this decision to include it in 3A.
That's what it's called.
Yes, exactly. Same. Unfortunately. So there was some great debate as to whether Tapu Lele should actually be in 3A or 2B, despite the fact that Hive voted for it to be in 3A. Now, anyone want to say anything? Or,
No, you can continue going.
because personally, I think it should be 2B, if I'm being honest. Like, it's so much better compared to a lot of the 2B Pokemon. But, at the same... sorry?
I think you could make the argument for it to be... Well, also I think it's fine in 3A. I think it has really good value no matter where it is.
Yeah.
I could see the argument for it to be 2B. I think it'll be fine in 3A. I don't think it's going to make so much of a difference where you're getting so many more wins because this is on your team over something else. Don't get me wrong, this is better than Florges and Sylveon, which are right above it.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to get you that many more wins.
Yeah.
It's also a better version of Gardevoir, isn't it? So
Yeah, it's still above Gardevoir. In my opinion, I agree. Like, there's nothing gonna be there's nothing drastic out of putting it in 3A. Like, nothing huge is gonna happen. I just think it was an oversight on the admin's part for not pointing out, hey, maybe it should be in 2B.
I mean, here's the thing. We didn't put it in the suggestions chat. That was on Jake. He didn't put an option for 2A or 2B. He just put 3A, 3B, and that was it.
But Jake's not the only one who thinks it should be 2B. Like, there's me, Narth, and Jack, but none of us noticed. Like, it's not just a Jake thing.
But Jake put it in the chat, and everybody voted. That's an oversight on his part from weeks ago.
I suppose that's true.
And this is how we put this in a pastebin. Like, I don't even know how long ago, a month ago, and everybody signed off. And it was like, it's okay. And then we just brought it up yesterday. That's a problem.
That's a pretty big oversight, yes. Wait, Saint, do you have anything?
Yes. To summarize, the Hive is still idiots.
Yeah, little juice people, you could say. I agree. I can't argue against that. But overall, I do like that we added Tapu Lele. Like, I understand it's hard to add new Pokemon because most of the banned Pokemon are busted. But I like new Pokemon because it just makes things more fresh, right?
Yeah, I think this is going to be a fun move. I think it's going to be interesting. I definitely think it's going to be drafted in all 4 leagues.
You think
It's a really solid fairy type option.
Yeah.
I think with how stale last season was, adding a few new Pokemon, changing a few of the tiers, it's going to be better than it was last season. Last season's going to be a little more fun.
Because I was noticing, as I was making this Google Slides, there weren't that many changes. A lot of the changes are just between 5A to 5B, or 5B to 5A, which, it's kind of boring, right? So, it's good to spice things up. Up next...
move on to one of the bigger additions from a banned Pokemon that's been banned for a while.
Yeah, Mega Mawile, that's right. I'm really excited to see how this will do. I was really skeptical about voting to allow this Pokemon.
I'm not sure how this is... I think it's very good. I don't know how highly it's going to get drafted, because I think everybody right now especially last season. Like, the consensus top mons are like Tapu Koko, Celesteela, and I think adding something like this where not everybody's really familiar as to how strong this mon is, because it's always banned in every league.
Yeah.
So, seeing how it works, I don't know how highly it's going to get drafted. I would assume it's going to be top 5 in every league. It's going to go quickly.
I don't think it's going to be top 5, actually. I think it's going to be in the top 10.
Oh, interesting. I
don't think it's going to slip. I think it's just something that it's been banned for a reason. And I don't think it's just because of lack of testing with it. I think it's just that strong of a mon. Don't get me wrong, I think it's going to be fine. I think it's going to be, you know, very powerful. You're going to have to prep for it. But I think it's going to be, you know, definitely worth the top 5 pick. I think it's definitely in the discussion for a top 5 mega.
Yeah, definitely top 5 mega. Top 5 within the first round, yeah, it's debatable.
Debatable.
Yeah.
There's a lack of data to prove it right now, but I think you can make the argument for it to be up there.
I think it comes down to the experience some of the players will have. Because we obviously know what Mega Ball does, like the incredible attacks there and wall breaking power, but we also know that it's slow and it's got that big ground weakness. So it's up to whatever the person wants to, whether they want to build around Mega Ball is what I would say, because it's a very team specific mod.
I agree with that. And the thing is, Mawile has a huge move pool. I mean, the other day I was talking about this with Ace and Justin in real life, and we're just naming counters to it, right? And I was like, oh, Arcanine. Then, like, Justin or Ace, one of them was like, oh, against Stone Edge. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah, there's not a lot of counters, per se, counters to it. It's one of those mons that is very powerful. The counters aren't really, like, it's not like an absolute shutdown counter. Like, there's nothing that absolutely is a complete wall or counter to it, like you bring it and it just beats it.
Yeah.
It's one of those that they're more soft counters.
Yeah, and I will say there are ways of beating it. Like, I know it sounds vague, right? Because there's no textbook counter to it. But at the same time, I do think Mawile does have some weaknesses that can be exposed. Like, Saint already mentioned, it's slow. And the ground weakness, that's a pretty common weakness. And ground types are bulky, too, for the most part. So, what I'm saying is, like, it's definitely super good. And
I definitely think it's going to change the way people draft, though.
Yeah, I can see that.
Skill type and fairy type is just like...
Yeah.
It's a very unique typing. Very, very powerful Pokemon.
Agreed. Oh, you guys want to move on to Zero Aura?
Yeah.
This is a very interesting one. Just because...
I don't know much about this mod. I know it's a fast electric that's physical, but I haven't really seen it much like at all.
It can be it can be a mixed attacker too, because it gets some pretty good coverage like Grass Knot.
We should also mention it's in 1B.
Yeah, I have that on the screen. It's one. Yeah, but sorry, I know you can't see that. But I definitely I've played it a lot in UU. And by no means is it like busted, right? I mean, it's only 1B, not 1A. But it's really, it hits pretty hard when, for considering situations. Sorry.
Well, this is the fastest non-mega electric outside. I think it is the fastest non-mega electric. Let me check. Pretty sure it is.
Electrode, actually.
Is Electro faster?
It's 150.
Electrode's faster.
But that's Electrode, right?
It is Electrode. Electrode's a little bit faster.
I like Zero Aura because it can pressure.
Yeah, Electrode is slightly faster, so it's like the second non-mega fastest electric type.
It's the fastest electric that can actually make
But
things
that's
that
pretty
can actually
good.
do damage.
Yeah, it's the fastest electric type that's actually, a real Pokemon.
Personally, I think that 0 and 1B might be a little bit low, honestly. I personally think it could. I think it's definitely within the top 3 electrics.
I think it might be a little too high, to be honest, because it doesn't really have great setup options.
I think it's exactly where it should be.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I think it's exactly where it should be. I don't think it's too high, too low. That's kind of where 1B is a lot of these mons, they're not the best of the best like 1A, but they're not It's not on par with. I think it's better than the 2As, but it's not on par with the 1As or on the 2As. Yeah.
Like what's going to
I think it's on par with a lot of the 1Bs. I think it's very good. But I think it's a mod that, due to lack of data right now, we don't know how this is going to perform. This is a mod that you could make the argument should be higher, but I'm not sure that as of right now it should be. I think it's fine where it is at 1B.
From my experience with it, is that it does hit hard when hitting off neutral attacks, but there are a lot of Pokemon that, resisted stab, right? Like, a lot of defensive Pokemon.
It's very interesting because of where it is, because it's also a very strong physical threat, and at high speed, most electric types don't really hit from the physical side, and I think, does this learn close combat?
Yeah, but it's a non-stab close combat.
Oh, well, still, having that kind of coverage, like, usually it's like Aura Sphere or Focus Blast, or it doesn't get a fighting move at all. To be able to hit that hard at that speed from a physical side is very different. There's not a lot of mons in the... I don't think there's any single mon in format that really fits the niche like Zoroa does.
Yeah, I can see
think that Zoroa, do remember guys that it's gonna be able to run like Adamant most of the time due to its incredibly high speed tier.
That's true
and
too.
It's got a great competitive ability in Absorb.
Yeah.
So it can check a lot of good electrics. And then, of course, it's a phenomenal Zumon. We've seen its move pool. It can have so many sets. You've got like Workout, Bounce, Fire Punch. You got Volt Switch, Close Combat Drain Punch.
I think my biggest question is, when is it going to get drafted? When is it going to be? Is it like a late first round? Is it kind of like a wheel in the second round at the beginning? Can you pick this in the first 10 picks? Is it worthy? Yeah. I'm not sure. I think it's more of a second round, like that wheel.
Second or third.
But I don't think it's going to make it to the third. I think people see that new toy and they're like, I want to play with that. So
yeah.
I feel
Second.
It's going to get taken early. Maybe higher than it should, but...
Perhaps, but we'll have to see.
Yeah. Alright, you guys want to move on to the tier rises?
Yeah, let's do it.
There are not that many this season, oddly enough. Or at least, well, the ones that are relevant, right? I'm sure there are a lot from like tier 5B to 5A, but we'll mention those near the end. So, I think the biggest one is Snorlax, going from tier 3 to 2A.
Yeah.
And that's probably because of the whole, like, gluttony, Figgy Berry thing that's been...
I think this is a move that has been kind of a long time coming, that maybe should have been done a while ago.
Oh, wait, shoot. It's 2B, right? I put 2A on the page.
It's fine.
It's
2B, yeah.
I
think it's a move that has been kind of been a while in the making.
Yeah.
It finally moves up. It's always been really, really good, always drafted. And with that combination, as you just said, it's just very hard to beat.
It's also so splashable on teams because that natural bulk, that natural typing, and the move pool, you can put it on any team.
And then the amount of abilities it gets.
Yeah.
And the sheer amount of sets you can run with this thing, outside of just that one set, is amazing.
Yeah. I like how you can basically make Snorlax to check almost every, offensive Pokemon in the game. Obviously not all of them,
except for fighting types, but...
Yeah, because, obviously not fighting types, but a lot of just offensive Pokemon from, tier 1A even, I can just...
I think it fits perfectly in 2B. I don't know that it will get moved up at a later point. I don't know. Maybe it will go to 2A. I think at 2B it's fine where it is.
I think it's good at 2B.
Right, I think it's going to be fine. I think it's still going to get drafted. It's just still so versatile and so good in what it does. Like that one set, as we mentioned, very, very powerful, hard to beat, something you always have to keep in mind, and Snorlax, just in general, very hard to, beat in general, even without that set, it's just not an easy Pokemon to kill, outside of just fighting types.
Yeah.
If you don't have a fighting type, you're gonna struggle to take it down.
Yeah, especially if it has Curse, oof.
Right.
Just having Snorlax forces you to bring Taunt on all mons.
Or, phasing move.
Yeah, because Toxic isn't a reliable answer to S-Talk.
It could also have immunity, too.
Right, that too.
So, you can run Tick Fact to check powerful Fire types and Ice types. But Gluttony for berry sets, you can run Immunity for the sleep toxic. So I mean,
I think this
just
is
one
one of those moves that is completely warranted and fair. I don't think we have really any complaints about it.
Yeah, no, it's good. I like these changes, to be honest. I like most of the changes overall.
I think so. I think most of these like medium changes are very, very solid. I think they're good.
And then we also have Como too, which I think is a really good decision, just because it has some good utility, and it's also pretty powerful too.
This is one of those moves that we had it here originally when we originally placed it. It didn't really perform. It moved down, and then obviously it's gotten better with. I think it got what was it, a new Z move?
It got the new Z move is banned, right? But we got close combat
got
and
access
stealth.
to close combat
And stealth
rock, I think.
That's
Right, it got access to a bunch of nice moves, and then now it got drafted a little bit more, got a little bit more attention. Now it's moving back up to where I think it's very good. I think it fits.
And it has a really good typing too, honestly.
Right, it's a very unique typing. There's not another Pokemon that has this typing. Correct?
It's my most used dragon ever. Fun fact.
Yeah.
Wall breaking ability is unstoppable. You can run 6 sets just based on preview voice Cobalt at least. Like, and they're all incredibly good. You can run Stealth Rock sets, you can run choice sets with the band or specs, usually. You can run Dragon Dance, you can run Autonomize. You can run Z, you can obviously run Z with Como, it's definitely a very good Z user. I definitely think that this
I agree.
Getting
I think this move
huge.
makes sense, yeah.
Definitely outclasses what's in 3A, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think this is definitely a move that makes sense. Do you want to go on the next Pokemon?
Fuck. Hold on, sorry. Yo, sorry about that. I just had to run a few errands in the house. Now we're back. And we were talking about Como, right?
I think we moved on to the next one.
Yeah, sorry. So then up next from 5A to 4, we got Torkoal, Palidan, and Licky Licky. Now, with Torkoal, that whole victory bell.
Everybody
Torkoal.
drafted Sun,
Yeah, basically.
We're still gonna draft some.
and it was still super. I mean, it's still cheap, but it's a little bit more expensive.
Yeah, I think it's fairly valued now. That's the thing. But man.
But
Victory Bell also went up from 5B to 5A, by the way.
yeah, like
Sun
Torkoal and
Yeah,
Sun
'cause-
just got abused. It was super cheap.
Still
And
is,
then
I feel.
Licky getting moved up. I don't know why. Palidan,
Palidan makes sense. It's good
Like-
value.
it's just a super good. It's got a great typing.
Yeah.
It's got recovery and rocks, and it hits decently hard.
Yeah, especially when it gets a spin F drops with Shadow Ball. Those are kind of annoying.
Right.
Those are really cool as well. Just you can check like some
I think
bonds.
Palidan moving up
Check.
is fair. I think it's tier 4 now.
Yeah, it's here for it.
I think that's really good for tier 4 with what you get from it. For a low tier ground, you get quite a bit of value from it. For 60 points, I think it's definitely worth it. I don't know if it's warrant to move up again, but I think at tier 4 it's definitely
4 is good.
definitely really good. Licky,
It's
another
got
that
great
normal
ball.
type.
The
It gets a
abilities,
lot of coverage.
the abilities on it are really good too, because it gets Cloud 9, right? So it ignores the weather effects. That can help
Oh, it
versus
does.
Sun.
Right.
Which I think is kind
There's
of
a lot of normal types that got moved up and down in this in these tier changes, but Licky moving up makes sense. Gets a lot of coverage. Very, very fat. Cloud 9 to counteract weather abilities.
Yeah, I think that's great.
Still pretty solid. I think that's right.
I think they're all very deserving.
I think that Sun
so-
moving up is probably the biggest move out of all of these.
Yeah, of the small.
It was way too cheap for what you can. I think it was like what it was. It was like 60 points. In
Yeah,
total to
60 points in
grab
total.
it, which is like a tier 4. Obviously, it's 2 mons, but for the for what it could do and how much damage it did last season, I think Victory Bell was top 10 in kills in every single league. So yeah, it was definitely warranted to move up.
Yeah. Now it costs 100 points, which I think is definitely
Right.
fair.
I think that's definitely more expensive. It might be too high for people's taste, but you know.
Yeah, I think it's
Still pretty
fairly
powerful.
priced. That's like 10% of your draft points, so if you think about it that way.
Yeah.
And how many monsters do you Yet again.
11.
11. So 2.
11.
That's
A
fair
fair amount.
Yeah.
Yeah, you still get a lot of good stuff. I don't know. We've all said the Torkoal and Victory Bell core is tried and tested, and it's really, really solid.
Also, there's also Shift Tree moving down in a later thing, which is another Sun Mon, but just not as powerful. So maybe people go for the Torkoal and
I mean, the reason why Victory Bell is so good is because the Sun boosts the Fire type Weather Ball. So
Yeah.
that's why stuff like Venusaur
You also
isn't
run,
tier 4 or anything.
you can also run like a fat Victory Bell. You don't even have to bring Sun, you can just run like a fatter Victory Bell with some of its other moves. Still pretty powerful.
You guys want to move on? Or?
Yeah.
Alright, so from 2A to 2B, we have Sylveon, Volcanion, Xurkitree, and Blacephalon.
I agree with all of these.
I
I think they were
Sylveon was
too
overdue.
high. I think Sylveon should have dropped way long ago.
Sylveon's overdue to drop. And
Yeah,
same with
this was-
Xurkitree, to be honest.
Right. Xurkitree just isn't
Right.
like it's slower for what it wants to be doing. It wants to be a setup sweeper, but it's just too slow. I think it maxes out at what, 273?
Yeah, it only has like 73 speed, right?
Right, it's just not fast. It doesn't really take a hit. So many things can run Earthquake and just hit it and basically put it in range of basically anything. It's not that bulky. It's too slow for what it really wants to do, which is be a back-end sweeper. So it moving down, I'm fine with. Volcanion, this is a mon that just isn't good.
Yeah.
Like, it hits hard, but you're relying on it to hit.
It's
Burn isn't as good
yeah,
as
the
it was
burn
last
nerf,
gen.
I think holds it.
And then just so many other things, like it being weak to rocks, electric weakness. Like, yes, that is water absorb, but man, is this thing just, it doesn't fit on a lot of teams.
It also
It's not really a bulky water, and it's like, I
So
don't know,
it has
it's just weird.
that like certain things can use, but I definitely think that the drop is worse as well. And
Yeah, I think it works.
let's go back to the Sylveon Floaters comparison. I feel like those two should be on the same tier, like always, because they do such similar things. The
And then
difference is like
Blacephalon-
and the breaking potential.
Was Blacephalon, what about, was this the first, like last season was the first one we allowed Blacephalon?
yeah, I think so.
I
Or
think
it
it was,
might have been 2 seasons ago.
I'm not sure. But Blacephalon dropping, it's just not,
It's
you might be right on 2 seasons.
It's
But Blacephalon is just, it's a good mon. I don't think it's kind of fast, right?
It's fast,
It's-
107 speed.
It's fast, but it's just so frail. It's
Yeah.
Ghost Fire. I think it's warrants to drop. I don't think it's that powerful. It's a good mon. I think it's more in line now with where it should be. Like, I think
Yeah.
where it is now at 2B, it's fine.
I just don't like its lack of offense. It's like its coverage is psychic, knockoff.
Oh yeah, its coverage is terrible.
Yeah, its move pool consists of coverage consists of knockoff and psychic. It
Yeah,
doesn't even get
it's
solar
very
beam, so
It's walled by a lot
Don't
of
forget
things.
Mind Blown.
Yeah.
Mind
It
Blow
has
Don't forget
that.
Mind Blown.
I don't think Mind Bloom is worth. It gets overheat, right?
I think it does, but overheat drop in the special attack by 2, doesn't it?
Yeah, but better than losing half of your HP.
Right.
I feel like Blacephalon can
It's
be-
just,
Well, first if you draft it, you're probably going to need to Z it, because otherwise it breaks through a lot of stuff.
I think it's more in line as to where it should be. I think this is fine. I don't think it's a 3A mon, but I don't think it's a 2A mon. I think it's 2B.
Yeah,
it has
2B is
its own
good.
niche. It's gonna get drafted
You know that-
occasionally, and it'll be okay.
We're still sleeping on the fact that it's got Beast Boost and it's got speed.
Right, I mean, it has
Any
beast
one of
boost
those
speed,
combination,
but lack of coverage kind of
powerful combination.
kills the beast boost. Like, it'll get drafted, it'll fit, and it'll have its niche. It'll do good things occasionally, but it's not as powerful as a lot of the 2A mons are. I think it's more in line with where a lot of the 2Bs are. I think it fits. I think this is our overall fine move. I'm okay with all of these. I don't think any of them are bad.
Know that if it was any higher, it'd have to faces competition from Volcarona, faces
Right.
competition from Verne,
Yeah.
Petran, Team, which we all know are incredibly good.
Yeah.
in general,
Speaking of
so-
all the fire types,
Yeah.
there were 2 fire types that dropped from this tier. I don't know if those are what
Dogs.
we're going to talk about next.
Yeah,
But
yeah, no, they are from
Entei-
2B to 3A. Yeah, Entei and
Right,
Arcanine.
Entei and Arcanine
My
both
fire
dropped
boys.
from this tier to 3A.
Fuck.
So 3A getting some new fire types.
Yeah, no, these are good deals for 3A. Like Entei especially, dude. Like I'm
Yeah.
just looking at that. I think the reason why they dropped. It's just
Entei still gets Sacred Fire and Extreme Sweep, both very powerful.
like they're both strong. They're just Entei's move pool is kind of limited. Arcanine, I just think it's good, but I don't think it excels in any
I
role
think it's-
specifically. Sorry.
Right, I think it fits fine in 3A.
Yeah.
It does. I mean, there's only a couple sets you can really run with it,
Yeah, you can run like an offensive set with like Life Orb Recovery or just
or
Choice
just like
Band.
the Rocky Helmet Intimidate.
Yeah,
Flash
that
Fire
too.
Thing.
That's about it. Yeah. That's
Has
okay.
a good niches, but
It gets recovery, but like the fire types are so bad this gen.
Yeah,
like, it's
burn
okay.
nerf like you mentioned earlier.
I think this is an okay mod. I think it fits in 3A.
It's not a good.
It's only
not a
okay.
I still like Arcanine.
It's got off this. It has a high floor, low ceiling. If you get what I'm saying.
Explain. Sorry. My issue with it specifically, I like Arcanine, right? But the problem is just like it doesn't have any essential utility, right? Like it doesn't get Stealth Rock, it doesn't get Defog, it doesn't get
Right.
it gets Roar, right? So it has phasing, but it doesn't get Taunt, right? So it's missing a lot of essential utility moves that a lot of other Pokemon get, and I think that's what really hinders it in Gen 7.
The offensive set is like Darmanitan, it kills itself.
Yeah.
The that is, you have to, anytime you bring in Arcanine as an Intimidate wall, you have to take the rocks, you have to take the hits, and then you have to recover it all up, since you have to come in for free.
And
What else? What else dropped?
Goodra dropped.
Oh, Goodra.
And Goodra, I think Goodra's long overdue. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of
Right.
Goodra.
I
I'm
think
really biased.
so. Essentially, you swap Goodra and Como in their spots. I think this is a
Yeah, it's a
Goodra's
really
fine
good swap.
Goodra doesn't hit that hard.
It doesn't.
I mean, it gets a lot of coverage. It's got some okay abilities. It's got okay speed. It just doesn't hit all too hard.
Yeah.
There's only a couple sets that I ever see it run. There's the Scarf, or not Scarf, like a Spec set,
Assault Vest,
Assault Vest, and then it has like a
Choice Band. It's
Rocky Helmet. I've seen a Rocky Helmet, like gooey type set.
That's weird, dude. It has only like 70 defense.
Yeah, there's not a lot you can do with it. It's
Don't
okay.
forget when-
It's just a generic dragon. A lot of its moves are, not stab, so it loses a lot of its strength. But
Yeah.
it's an okay mod. I think it fits in tier 3. I think it's fine.
Agree.
I think there's a
like
lot
it.
of better dragons above it.
What were you saying? What were you gonna say?
Solid. I think that Goodra's just fine in tier 3, obviously. It does have a lot of move pool, which makes it kind of hard to switch into, but I mean, it's just...
Yeah.
It doesn't get good recovery other than rest, so...
Yeah.
It's really good at one side, but it's also really bad at the same side, I feel.
I think one of the also things that it struggles from is 4 move syndrome.
I agree.
Yeah. I think another issue with Goodra is that, again, with Arcanine, it lacks essential utility moves. It gets Dragon Tail for phasing, right? But then it doesn't get... There's the, again, no rocks, no taunt. Like, you take Komo-O, for example. Not only does it have way better coverage and it hits harder, but it gets Stealth Rock, right? So that's, like, another reason to, like, consider it. Whereas Goodra, it's just attack after attack, which there are plenty of Pokemon for that.
I think one of the other things about it is both of Arcanine and Goodra, they lack some pop.
Yeah.
They don't hit as hard.
Yeah, I can name fire types that hit way harder than Arcanine, which we already mentioned, right? Like
Obviously,
Darmanitan.
Entei's in the same tier.
Yeah, Entei too.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
other dragons above it, and
Yeah.
even in the same tier in Haxorus and Kingdra.
Yeah, Goodra definitely has some competition even now.
Right. There's even more dragons below it. Flygon moved down to tier 4 even.
Yeah, Flygon at tier 4, we're gonna talk about that more, but that's a good value. Holy shit.
Right, and even Tyrantrum in tier 3B. I
Yeah,
mean, that's been
I would
forever,
rather have that
but-
over Goodra.
Right, like there's a lot of other dragons.
Yeah.
It's got an okay niche. It's okay. Nothing spectacular. Nothing you're gonna be like, I got Goodra. This is gonna give me so many wins. It's okay. same thing with Arcanine. Like they'll work. They're not gonna blow you away. They're not gonna be like win you so many games. They're just okay.
You guys
all the fire in tier 3, you know, it's gonna be hard. It's like I definitely can see Entei and Arcanine shining, but I can also see them being overshadowed by the other 5 types.
Yeah, like you got Darmanitan in the same tier. That thing hits really hard.
You got Salazzle, which is like
oh, I love Salazzle. That thing's great too. It's also got a really good speed too. You guys want to go into Stakataka?
Let's talk about Stakataka. Why not?
Yeah, it dropped from 2B to 3A. This is one because it was kind of like new toy syndrome, right? It was like new, so people thought it was going to be good.
People really hyped it up, thought it was going to be really good. Turns out, really wasn't.
Yeah. I don't think it's bad, but it's not like, well, it's definitely not 2B worthy.
I think it fits in tier 3A. I think it's fair.
Yeah. It gets Stealth Rock, it gets Trick Room.
It's kind of a Trick Room threat.
Yeah, it's a good threat under Trick Room. Like a good one at that.
I don't know what else does it get. I can't remember. I know it's a Rock Steel like Trick Room threat, but I have no idea.
It just gets rocks.
It does the same,
beast boost,
but it hits insanely hard. That's the thing.
Right, and it also has really good defense. So even though its times are weak to ground, some earthquakes, it can live a lot of earthquakes, even though its times are weak to ground. Because
Stakataka is one of those weird ones where, like, if you're a special flying type spammer, you're going to need to bring HP fighting or HP ground, which is something a little different.
I think this is a mon that isn't going to get drafted a whole ton, but when it does, it's going to be one of the mons that is really built to take advantage of it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a really like rare role.
Right, it's more of a niche mon.
On the right team, it can definitely work. Like, if you paired with another Trick Room mon, another Trick Room abuser, perhaps it could definitely like put in all the work.
Right.
In like a choice bandit set, like have like reliable recovery, like Stakataka, like a bandit stone edge is gonna send it to Underworld.
Yeah. You guys want to move on to the next drops?
Yeah.
Alright.
So from we got from 3B to tier 4. Our drops include Fortress, Doublade, Flygon, Espeon, and a Lowland Marowak. Which one do you guys want to talk about first?
I'll talk about Doublade because I've used it before.
Okay, interesting. Go ahead.
I really like Doublade. I can still definitely see it in tier 4. You know, out of all the good skill types that are in tier 3, you have Metagross, you have Klefki, you know.
Bronzong.
Doublade doesn't... Yeah, exactly. Doublade doesn't stand out. We got a really nice niche of it being so bulky with Violet.
Yeah, it's pretty bulky.
I still that knock is a little bit annoying, but I mean, check the good stuff. You've got Pursuit to trap as a nice trapping move.
Yeah.
Potential on any team, so I think it's a really good pick, but I can definitely see him fitting on tier 4.
I think this is a mon that heavily benefit from the drop. I think it's going to be really good in tier 4.
Yeah. I think
the mon that got drafted a ton. Now I think you'll see a little bit more getting drafted. I think it's a nice deal.
It's
you know,
definitely a good backup
where there are not a lot of steals.
Yeah, it's definitely a good backup steel type. I think one of the things that held it back was like just a lack of utility. I mean, I know I say that a lot, right? But like, it's a steel type without stealth rocks, which in my opinion is always like a huge setback when you're drafting a steel type.
Doublade's lack of natural recovery kind of sucks.
Yeah,
but,
that too.
It's a really good spin blocker is what I
I really like it though. It's a steel type that can check some fighting types, right? You gotta watch out for knockoff, right? But
I think another big move is Flygon moving
that's
down.
a big one, yeah, dude. Flygon
100 base speed. It has Dragon Dance, right?
Yeah, Dragon Dance.
It's very nice in tier 4. It doesn't hit as hard as a lot of the tier 3s. So that's why I think it moved down.
Yeah.
It still has some good utility. It gets defog, gets rocks, has Dragon Dance.
Oh, it doesn't get rocks, but yeah.
Oh, not rocks. I meant, what is it? Not rocks. It gets defog, Dragon Dance, it gets U-turn.
Yeah, U-turn, yeah.
Roost as well, some bonus 50.
Roost as well. So it's got some very nice utility. It's a very good mon in tier 4. I think it's more in line with a lot of tier 4s than it is a lot of the tier 3Bs. I definitely think it's going to get drafted. I think it's a solid move. I don't really have any complaints about this.
Yeah.
I'm not sure on Flygon in general because it's just so weak, it feels like.
Right, it just doesn't hit that
It
hard.
doesn't hit hard.
It lacks a lot of the pop. Espeon's move that
I actually think Espeon at tier 4 is really good value.
I've been the one to move this mine down. So I'm glad I'm here. Espeon is a magic bouncer, very, very frail. It doesn't have a wide move pool. It's kind of just okay. It's not really a big threat either. It's just it's kind of a nice magic bounce user. It's an okay tier 4.
Big spread. Tell that to my good power Q plays.
I mean, you could slap a Specs on it and fucking Oko something. Well, like,
I'm gonna go shout out right now to my good pal Specs Star for 6-0ing with Calm Mind Z-Zap Cannon.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like,
Oh,
the
yeah.
Z moves
I
now,
think-
I think it's pretty.
Like,
that's
yeah,
I
I
think
agree.
it's an okay mon. I don't know how many people are gonna draft it. I like Espeon, but I just don't know. I mean, you could do some really interesting stuff with it against certain teams that maybe don't have a counter for it.
So
but
frail. Like,
yeah, it's
that's
so
the problem.
frail. That's its problem.
It's got super nice, like, offensive capabilities. It can Calm Mind without being phased out by
Right.
Whirlwind, but
You can't toxic all it either.
yeah, exactly. But you can't taunt it, you can't Whirlwind it, you can't nothing. So you basically let it set up for free unless you have haze. But I mean, I feel like Espeon's a really good Z user just because of its move pool. Like as I mentioned earlier, Z-Zap Cannon.
Yeah.
But on the same side, like it's like even like Mach Punch is doing a solid chunk to Espeon since it's just so frail.
It's pretty
Like
frail.
with Shadow Sneak and Sucker Punch everywhere, just like Espeon's windows to come in are a little bit few. Like I do like the fact that Espeon basically comes in on top specs like every single time,
Right.
but it's
I
just
think this is.
yeah.
I'm sorry to cut everybody off. I've been doing so much this week. Sorry, but Espeon is one of those mons that it has its niche. It's not going to get drafted a ton. It'll fit sometimes, and it's going to be okay. I think it's okay tier 4. I think it's another good move.
I think so too. I think it fits perfectly in tier 4. Definitely got the offensive capabilities to do some work. Not so much defensive capability, but I still think it's going to be solid.
We can talk about Marowak Lola.
Yeah, this one's interesting to me because, like, I understand this drop. I still feel like Marowak does have a lot of potential. Like, I think it's good value for tier 4.
Right. I think
Yeah.
again, and I think it's more of one of those where it's more in line with tier 4 than where it was in tier 3B.
Yeah.
It gets, it's not that bulky. It does get, some okay abilities. It's very slow.
Yeah, that's the problem. It's stats just make it really awkward. Because on one hand, it should be a wall breaker, but it gets outsped by most walls.
Basically everything.
So that's why it really suffers. And then, yeah.
It's nice. I think it fits in tier 4.
I remember the days where Marowak was like the Coco counter. Like everybody was
Oh my
spamming
God.
Marowak.
Right. It just also doesn't get. It's another mod that's usage and just power level isn't there in tier 3B. It fits in tier 4. I think it's fine. I don't really think there's anything to flip.
Yeah, no
like
complaints.
most of these drops to tier 4, I think are all warranted. I think they're all good drops.
I agree.
But I like how Marowak is that it can come in on like so many. I guess I wouldn't call it passive, but just like slow fairies, like I would say Clefable, or like it can come in on basically any water. But if it's like if it's a one that can't really like Marowak basically gets to come in for free at least.
I know.
once.
I get what you
Starts
mean.
knocking things out.
Like,
Knocking things out.
yeah. Like if your opponent has like some sort of wall that can't really hit Marowak, like maybe a grass type, right? That pressure, like just you having Marowak on your team can pressure them a lot in terms of like, if you bring it in while they still have the grass type out, then you basically get a free kill, right? So it takes a lot of
I feel
mind
like-
games. Oh shit.
You keep going.
It takes a lot of mind games. I do think Alola Marowak can work, but the fact that you do need to predict really well to use it kind of shows that it's not that great. So tier 4 does make sense for it.
I think it's one of the more intriguing tier 4s.
Yeah.
Right now and say that somebody's gonna grab the combination of Stakataka and Marowak together.
Alright. You guys want to move on to Daniel's favorite ground resist? Fortress?
That's all.
Fortress.
Just a graveyard resist. I don't know what you're talking about.
Dude,
Fortress moving down is just it's just not a great tier 3. I
It's
think
really
a lot of
not.
the other tier 3 mons are just better than it. I think it moving down to where it is in tier 4, fair. Obviously it gets Stealth Rock Spikes,
T-Spikes,
Toxic
Rapid
Spikes,
Spin.
and Rapid Spin, all very good.
It has great utility, but it just has poor stats and it's very passive. It has like no offensive presence
Yeah,
whatsoever.
it's so it gets Volt Switch though.
Yeah, it gets Volt Switch.
It gets leftover recovery.
That's
Because
true.
you can,
And Paint Split.
explode.
And then, yeah, Explosion. So that's the thing. It doesn't really have a way to, like, attack your
damage.
opponent's Pokemon besides Toxic or Toxic Spikes. So, even though it can get up a lot of hazards, it can also lose those hazards pretty easily as well, which is
I think
unfortunate.
for tier 4, fair.
Yeah, Tier 4 is good for it, I think.
It's concept very allowed this season.
Oh, I don't think
Don't
so.
think it is.
No.
I know we've allowed it in the past,
But now we don't allow unreleased items, so...
Well, I mean, it's gonna be released later on this year, so.
Who knows?
But
Let's
it does
talk
get
to
big
Azar
on stat
about
when you
it.
can. It's
Put
gonna
an
be-
asterisk
it's all like
next
this.
to it.
We'll take this up with the admins.
Can we talk about Hoopa and Bound moving down?
We're getting to that soon. We're getting to the. Oh, we still got to get to the tier 4 to 5A drops, which include Sceptile, Dodrio, Sock, Gallade, Togetic, and Ambipom. We don't have to talk about all of them, just like whichever ones you guys want.
I don't think. I mean, Togetic going down it doesn't really matter.
No,
I think
especially with Comfy in tier 4, like no one's gonna choose
Right.
Togetic.
one of the names that you mentioned was Sceptile.
Very good game.
Oh, we're
Which-
getting to the juiced
Like,
one
how
soon.
to get to-
But regular Sceptile, yeah, it doesn't hit hard. It's fast, but it doesn't have any power. in
It's
it.
fast. I think it's fine in tier 5.
Yeah.
Makes sense. I don't really have any complaints about it.
Yeah.
It's drops, I think, there.
Okay, honestly, all I'm gonna say about these drops is I think Ambipom in tier 5 is great value. That's really all I have to say.
Right. I
I
agree.
think that all of them have niches, all of them can be used.
Yeah.
Whether you bought them, not necessarily, but on the right team they can do some work.
Yeah.
Not like a ton of work every game, do some work.
Yeah.
The 1 to 2 games that they come to, they'll be fine.
Yeah, they'll be good. And then from 5A to 5B, we got Alolan Golem and Substrika, neither of which are great, so they kind of dropped.
Olin Golem has a niche, it traps Celesteela.
Yeah, but it's a weak to Earthquake. Makes it hard to use.
That's exactly.
But like, no,
That's the
I
problem.
get it. Its niche is pretty cool. It just it's hard to use because you need to have Air Balloon, and it really makes it specific to like one role, which.
An example actually I can use is just like in TMT, John W's team had used it against the Took Minorities, and Scissor just turned out on the Golem. So like,
It's too easy to get around.
You
can
guys,
play around it.
you guys want to get around to the last two drops we're gonna talk about?
Is it Mega Sceptile and Hoopa?
Yup. So,
Oh, maybe.
all right, let's talk
First of
about
all-
the elephant in the room. We made a mistake by letting this thing drop. Mega Sceptile.
Everybody in
know.
the Hive fucking hates this Mega,
It's-
and I don't understand why.
I hate it.
Let me say something real quick. Me, Azar, and Narth all voted for it to go down so we could pick it up. Just saying.
Oh my god.
Azar and Narth aren't even playing.
No, that's the funny part.
Oh my god.
I
Azar
can't
actually
say
likes this
anything bad
Pokemon.
against. I'm biased because I like Mega Sceptile and I've drafted it before, but like, I think when you look at a lot of the other 2B Megas, it's on par with those. I think it's better than the Tier 3 Megas, but not by a lot. Mega Sceptile it's one of the fastest revenge killers, obviously.
Yeah.
Its typing is not great. Its power, it kind of lacks a little bit of its power because it's not really like a wall breaker. It's a fast revenge killer.
Alright, Revenge Killer is such a strong word
Right.
in this context.
Right. It's not the best revenge killer, but it's still fine. I think giving 80 points for drafting this is a steal. I think it's
Yeah,
definitely
it's a
going to get
steal,
drafted.
yeah.
And here's the thing, it's usually drafted anyways.
Yeah, at some point someone generally drafts it.
Like, obviously its problems is it's so frail. It dies to priority. Its typing is so weak to basically everything.
Yep.
They can't switch it in on anything. But it's still a good mod, and I think getting 80 points for it is very good, because it's still, I'd say, one of the best revenge killers in the format. And it gets good coverage.
Yeah.
Just like, I like the speed, I like the dual stab offensively. Defensively, it's useless, but I mean, Sceptile has its niche, and I definitely agree. Tier 3 Mega is very, very nice. We're definitely going to see a lot of Mega Steps this season, is what I hope.
Yeah, we're definitely going to see a lot of those.
Like, Tier 2B, I could see it. Tier 3, I don't know.
I don't think anybody will pass on Mega Sceptile giving them 80 points.
Yeah, it's just good value is what I would say.
You're going to see a lot of Bronzongs drafted this season, and Bronzors to be able to check this thing. I'm joking. But,
Bronzor.
You need to counter
Can we
Mega
move
Sceptile.
Bronzor up?
no, wait. Hold
You do
on.
one better in bad Mega Sceptile in general.
Why is Bronzor not tier 5A?
Oh my
Oh,
god.
bullshit. Okay, so the other move the last move we need to talk about.
There's a Hoopa Unbound, which is quite
It's
the
Hoopa
overdue
Unbound.
drop.
Hoopa is better than
The
McGearna.
Magearna.
Outright, it's just the truth.
Far better than Magearna. I don't know why Magearna's banned.
I don't know either.
If
you know?
Magearna's so good.
I guess we're just pussies. I don't know.
I don't know why we dropped it in the first place. Let's bring it back up.
Yeah, if Magearna's
But-
so good, why is it not
Hoopa
on the tier
Unbound.
list?
Hoopa Unbound's a mod that I'm actually a little bit surprised, but it's so slow. It
Yeah,
has
it doesn't
good
have the great
coverage,
speed.
but it just no recovery. Not really I mean, it's a stall breaker, obviously.
It's it's definitely a good
It's a fine
wall breaker.
It's just slow. It's not really as good. I think it's on par with a lot of the 1Ps.
Yeah,
I agree.
I think it's not as good as the 1As. It's on par with the 1Bs. It has its issues, but it's still a very solid mod. Still worth
I
drafting
think it's
it.
pretty good value for 1B, honestly.
Right, I think it's fine where it is, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's
I feel like
fairly
Hoopa
nice.
just comes and kills, but like
I
when
mean,
you lose momentum every time you kill something.
right.
Yeah, exactly. That's the
It's one of
thing.
those mods where you gotta bring it in. It's not really gonna take a whole lot of hits. Like, UKK is kind of bulky, but it's not gonna take that many hits. It's not a mod you can continually switch in. It doesn't like rocks, doesn't like getting burned, whittles down fairly quickly. It's a stall breaker. It can wall break somewhat. Spam hyperspace fury, but its issues of its speed is just so overwhelming.
Like it's definitely not worth like an early pick, but on the late game,
Right.
you know, if you want to bring in Hoopa and just click one button to win,
Right.
do that. It's still a really solid option. It's better than Magearna, but
I mean, for sure.
Yeah,
one B is fine.
yeah. All
Okay,
right.
that's all we're gonna talk about.
Yeah, we got the pace spin. We'll link this below, and
There's 42 moves in total.
yeah, 42 moves in total. Yeah, I think that's it for all the relevant ones. You guys got anything else to say?
Mega Bro is really good in 2A. Or
Oh yeah, that too. That's good value. Mega Bro in 2A, because it went from 2B to 2A, and so yeah.
I guess one final message is, why the fuck is Tapu Lele 3A, you fuckheads?
Yeah, it's not 2B. 2B or not 2B. Right.
Okay, peace out.
All right. See you guys.
Peace.
Oh fuck.